Greetings, everyone. If you're in a relationship or you're a parent and you're really having some difficult times with your loved ones and you feel the need to reach out to somebody to ask them for advice or a listening ear, this message is for you. I'm going to appeal to those who offer support to these ones to listen carefully, to be very mindful that these people are family or relatives, they live in the same household, or even if they don't live in the same household, they are related by blood or they're intimate partners. And so never lose sight of that. Regardless of what they're going through, there's a chance for these individuals to reconcile. And if you are mindful of that, you will not say anything that you regret later on. Now, also, if you are a person going through these things and you ask people for advice or you reach out for support, you still have a social responsibility to ensure that when you are discussing things with this person in private, you do not then go back to your partner or your family member and tell these individuals what the person said. Because what you're actually doing is setting up these individuals. Because regardless of what you're going through, and yes, some of it is really dreadful, you don't have the right to engage persons in conversation, trash out your partner or your children, say negative things about your loved ones to these ones because people get emotionally involved in people's stories. And so if a woman is telling somebody that her kids are being disrespectful towards her, that person might for a moment forget that this is your child that you gave birth to, which you shouldn't forget, but it happens, and then they feel they're at liberty to say all kinds of things because the person invited them to do so. So you'll have parents, the mom and her daughter is having problems and she's saying all kinds of foolishness about her daughter. And the person listening now feel like she's offering support by saying, what a terrible girl, what a worthless this, what a horrible son. And I never ever allow myself to do that. I don't care how bad your daughter is, or wretched your children are, or horrible your husband is, or your partner is. I will listen to you, but the judgment will not come from me, and those harsh words will not come from my mouth to your ears, because I'm always cognizant of the fact that your family, or these are persons that you love, these are your intimate partners, and you are emotionally involved. I'm not. So you can say all you want. I'm not going to judge you, but I'm not going to help you and confirm what you're saying to me. Now, people who are supporters, when you're listening to the stories of what's happening, when you become emotionally involved, you might say things and down the road you might put yourself in danger. Because unfortunately, some of these hurting women or hurting children will then go back to their partner, to their family members, and tell them that this is what you said. And sometimes when they're doing that, they're not thinking they're going to get you in trouble. They're thinking that they're going to shame their partner into changing. So, for example, a lady comes and says, my husband is beating me or my boyfriend is cheating on me, and, tell you all kinds of stuff. When you become emotionally involved, you start saying he's a loser, he's a low life, what kind of terrible child that is, kick the kid out. Can you imagine when these persons, the wife or the mother, goes back and tell her child or her husband that you said these things? Right away, you have made an enemy of these individuals. And so I'm going to say that while I understand that you can cuss out your partner, you can see all kinds of things about your children, when you tell me, it's like you're setting me up when you say these things to me and then go back to your partner and say, this is what Jenny said. Jenny said that you're a loser and I should leave you. I could do better than you. And women do that all the time. When I was in a situation, I didn't share certain information with friends or family or anyone. I tried to work it out. I'm not saying that everyone should be this way because sometimes you need to talk to somebody. But the truth is, in my situation, I never kept women's phone numbers. I never spoke to anybody on the phone. I never, bring my personal business to anyone on that phone conversation or even in my ex's presence, because men, when they're abusive, will never take responsibility for their action. They will think that the other person that you're sharing your story with is influencing you and encouraging you to leave them. And you don't want to do that to anyone. I have seen it my own self. Individuals have their best friends, and of course, they confide in the friend about what's happening in their relationship. And, when things fall apart and when people get mentally ill, and decide, especially if they're narcissists, these men then decide that if I can't have this woman, no one is going to have her. He's gone to her friend's house, and not just take her out, take out her friend as well, or anybody else in that household. I'm sure you've heard about these serious situations. And so, what bothers me a lot is listening to people in the same household with their abusive partner or their children that they're not getting along with, and on the phone calling people's name, saying, "Oh, Joanne, look, this terrible kid did this," or "Look what my husband is a this, that, or the other," and saying all these disrespectful things about their partner, and they're saying it to you, calling your name. So this man is hearing, and it happens to women too. The woman might hear the man saying all kinds of negative things about her to his female friend. What do you think is going to happen? That woman is going to think you're influencing her man to leave her, and that man is going to think that you are part of the problem and that you are the one who's encouraging his partner to leave. And then when the woman run away to safety and he knows where you live, he might not know where to find that lady anymore, but now he knows where to find you. And so a lot of times you're watching news, especially back home, and you hear of all these unsolved crimes, simple things like that. People getting involved in others people's business. And when these individuals, put their head on the pillow, on the same pillow, and, they make up. Women have a habit of saying, Susan said this, and she said I should leave you because you're not good enough for me. And I don't know why women feel like when they put down their partner and tell the partner what another female is saying, if it's going to shame him into being better or changing. It doesn't. It just makes him more resentful of you, and it makes him resentful of anyone who's there to offer you support. So hopefully when you listen to this, if you're a young woman or an older woman, you really think about it. If you do have that person that you can turn to, protect your friend by not saying anything about what you discuss as far as your relationship is. The man doesn't need to know what the woman is saying or need to know how much you disrespect him in front of your friend. You need to be very careful. We're in serious time. And a lot of these things, some people don't really think about it, but I've seen it far too much. And when I meet someone, especially a mom, and she's sharing her story about her kids, and she's openly berating her kids and saying negative things about her children to me, those kids will hate me. I'm not supposed to be offering that. If she's talking to me about her kids, I'm supposed to say, "I'm sorry you're going through that. It's unfortunate. Can I speak to your child?" And when I speak to that child, I have no business reprimanding that kid. It's just to hear their side of the story. See if I can be a mediator to bring them to a place where they can talk. And if it's a male and female situation where they're in a relationship, I want to be the middle person. I don't want you to tell you to leave your partner, and I don't want to tell your partner that he's a low life or he's a loser. That's not my position. My thing is to encourage you guys, if you cannot work it out, to go your separate ways in peace. But that's not going to be my main goal. It is to say peace. You should both be able to come to me and talk to me, and I should help you feel better. That when you get off that phone, or if you're in my presence, you can then sit down and reason things together like, civil human beings. And your child should know that I would never speak bad of her or him, regardless of what the parent says. I'm not supposed to become emotionally involved in it. And so I'm telling all of you, do not become emotionally involved in person's situation, in their family business, their relationship. Give advice that is going to benefit both of them, regardless of the decision that they make. It's real scary. And I am very upset with people who constantly draw people into their business and then turn around to their partner and say, this person said this, or the person said all these negative things. Or if when everything is working out fine between them, when they get back on that same pillow, they say, oh, Susan said this or that. It's not right. Stop it. Stay blessed, everyone.